So, what you can see is I'm going to do something I'm titling Smurfs in Modernity, or Modernity, whatever. It's basically Smurfs in relation to modern times. This was suggested by one of my high school buddies, and Facebook, and so we're going to do him for 15 minutes. I actually have another paying gig. I kind of have to do a little bit more work on that one before I can share it with you all. But I also am mic'd. There it is. And from there, we will see how this works and whether the typing, because I was told the typing was a little annoying. So let's get going, and here it goes. Oh, wait, here it goes. There we go. For those that don't know, the Smurfs are a race of little blue people who live in the woods and whose primary antagonist is Gargamel. Gargamel is a sorcerer and one who wants the Smurfs, as memory serves, for his spells. At one point, he creates the girl Smurfette, to lure the rest of the Smurfs into his clutches. Except the plan fails. So, what is the idea of the Smurfs and why does it matter? In truth, I'm not sure I know. What I do know is that the concept, the characters, have been around for 50 years. Prior to the 1980s, when I was a child, the tunes were on. Prior to the early morning awareness of the annoyances caused by their songs and the law of a generation of people who actually enjoyed watching the show. Yet, today I would turn it off. Today, I realized something that was completely lost on me back then. The Society of Smurf is all male. It is only with the addition of Smurfette that we gain some traction in terms of gender awareness and the inexplicable nature of man versus woman. Not that Smurf was really a man v woman kind of Smurf, but that she represents the disorder in the defined and characterized order of the Smurf population. See, Smurf population. I'm looking at this and saying, hey, what can we do to make this sound smart? Alright, beginning with Papa Smurf, and working through all of the rhetorically, maybe, named Smurf population, each one takes on the name of his role. The only one without the name role association is Smurfette, and in truth, Her name implies that she is both Smurf and girl. What is odd, though, is the absence of female, or, as I will refer to it, XX, in the species. Where do they come from? The answer has to lie in magic, though in the Germanic tradition where the Smurfs originate, this may not necessarily be true. It may be true that magic is a form of the Germanic folklore tradition, that magic explains the very nature of man and forest, where forest explains the human condition of the unknown and the fear that resides therein. It is not from this the tradition of tales and folklore follows a tradition of mythological explanation of the unknown or the unanswerable. From this, we get giants, unicorns, witches, and so on. From this, we gather the Grimm brothers and gain a collection of stories with both moralistic and personal appeal, meant to both frighten and entertain those who hear them. There's nothing wrong with that. And for Americans, because our traditions are often borrowed, because our nation and by extent our culture is young, and as Perrault put it in his book Capitalism in the 21st Century, the influx of outsiders into the country over the past 200 years has led to a lack of identity and cultural awareness that inherently exists within the framework of the European complex. Sure, why not? The Smurfs are an extension of this cultural and idealistic awareness. They exist not in truth and not in cartoons, though that is where we see them, or in the recent movie, live action movies, where the CGI Smurf is inserted into action with Neil Patrick Harris, and Gamel is made up with prosthetic makeup, is designed around the oddity of pathetic make-up to remain somewhat true to the original cartoons. Rather, these are a collection of stories where Smurfs both existed before the cartoon and continued to exist past it in their home country, Germany. They have continued to exist as comics published often. In that comic run, additional female Smurfs, ostensibly now named after their roles, have come into existence. I cannot speak intelligently to this because I've yet to read the translated works, but I can speak to the necessity of allowing XX into the discourse over time. As we grow, we realize that an individual voice or a gender voice is as important as the perceived dominant entity within the culture. While it remains untrue that a male or XY dominated society is more violent or erratic than an XX society, that we limit and remove XX from decisions or even the existence of a fairy tale land is endemic of the idea that XX doesn't matter or isn't equal. Time has disproven this, just as time has shown that a good moralistic story told in a way that is both approachable and entertaining and understandable is worth the effort to seek it out. However, we often forget this in a series of blockbuster movies, both written and directed, to make money with the least amount of artistic effort or integrity. Period. This is sad and is also expressed in the Smurf movies, where the illustration of the moralistic is subjected to the entertainment value of a vacuous. It is within the context of the vacuous and the original Smurfs as an all XY society. This translates into a world where we, the audience, cannot understand the underlying and most important meanings of the finished work. In essence, we allow ourselves to be duped into thinking that XY is perfectly acceptable when, in truth, it is the exploration of both XY and XX that allows us the opportunity to find new and exciting and wonderful. To, in short, find the wonder in all that we do. We lose that by. There you go. 15 minutes for you, Steven. Congratulations. I'll probably do one more for my sister, but now that I've got another bang one, let's see how that goes. And if I get bored, I may ask for more help. But there we are. Now we can scroll back up through, and I'm going to leave Gargamel alone. I'm going to leave Smurfette alone. I actually have no clue as to how they're spelled. Don't care. All laws are fine. Smurfette's fine. Smurfette. Most of my blacks are, I don't know. Actually, I think Pearl is PU. Let's see if those. I'm going to go with the correction. I'm not really certain of the spelling. Gargamel. Ooh, because I missed an E. And erratic. I'm spelled. I think I missed an R. Nope. No, I did. And the D is T. And finally, there you go. I got 881 words over almost 3 pages. 15 minutes. That's honestly pretty good when you think that Hemingway wrote 500 words a day. Period. So, once again, this is the 15-minute write. Sponsored this one. This one's sponsored by Stephen Weatherby. I will get this posted up, and then, like everything else, I will add a PDF to the link somewhere, and then add it to the description. Thanks. Hope that this is interesting, and we will see you the next time.